Ready?
So it's your boy Cody here.
Cody!
Yeah! Yeah!
Cody Wild Musk!
Alright, I'm here with Laz Alonso and Deon Taylor from Traffik. What is going on, man?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. What about you guys?
Man, we happy, man.
Yeah.
Y'all happy?
You know, movies coming out in a couple days, 420. Traffic and chill, 420. Celebrate 420, then take your girl to the movie theaters, and then it's traffic and chill.
Traffic and chill. I like that. I like how that goes together.
Yeah.
Alright, so the movie Traffic. Like, give us a brief synopsis of what's the movie.
Oh man, it's a it has so many layers. It is a thriller. It is a drama. It is a
Action.
I think it checks all the boxes. But the movie follows Paula Patton and Omar Epps on a romantic getaway, and ultimately they make a stop at a gas station and discover something that changes their lives forever. And I think the movie is very well done. I think the actors are exceptional in the film. And like I've been saying for the last week, man, if you are a fan of films like Get Out, if you're a fan of A Quiet Place, if you're a fan of movies that make you think, movies that make you jump, movies that make you talk to the screen, then this is the movie for you to go see. And we're really excited about it. And I think the icing on the cake is that it is independently done by a black-owned production company, which is us. And I wrote it, I directed it. I have a black financier. And right now we're just trying to look out for black and brown people and push, quality films, quality production. We're trying to level up a little bit in terms of, how we're playing on the screen. So this movie, I also think has something different to it. I was very blessed to be able to work with Dante Spinotti, who shot the movie, as my cinematographer, who's been nominated for 4 Academy Awards. So I think what happens is when you bring that level of art to art, right? So you're talking about a cinematographer who shot The Insider, L.A. Confidential, Heat, Last of the Mohicans. I can go on, but when you bring that level to our world and then you have the actors level up it the same way, I think you get something special. So I'm out here today rooting for the movie, begging people to go see the movie and support it. But more so, we're just excited about what we created and what's out there now.
I'm gonna say what you guys created was awesome. I saw the movie on Monday and it was an awesome movie, and I'm very excited to sit down with you guys because I got a lot of questions, and I just want to get inside you guys' head. As a director, like how was it for putting, and you write it, how was it to putting together this film that touched on a real touchy subject? And I think that's very overlooked in our communities and just in the nation, period. Yeah. So I think it was like it's $1 billion industry for trafficking. Yeah. So can you speak on that?
Yeah, I mean, the movie is an unconventional film for a black filmmaker. I say that because there's no way in hell I was ever going to make a trafficking movie. Like, it just wasn't what I was doing. We're always looking for, I know for me, I'm a horror thriller guy. I love dramas, but I was always looking for that, that one project that we all would love. You know what I mean? This was different because it came to me through a letter from my daughter. So my 12-year-old daughter's school sent me a thing about kids being trafficked. And I just remember looking at it like, yo, this ain't for us because we black and they don't traffic us. and also I went online and seen so much stuff about young black kids being trafficked, young black women being trafficked, young black men being. I was blown away. I was like, why don't I know this? But we're so consumed by everything else that we deal with. You know what I mean? Like and it's not a problem. It's just that we are consumed. I mean, I got to worry about mass shooters now. I got to worry about drug dealers. I got to worry about, you know what I mean, guys with guns. I got to worry about, at this point, the president, right? So the last thing I'm looking at is that. And when I seen that and I realized how close that was to home, that's what kind of gave me the energy to dig into the script and to write this and to do it. And I felt like organically that's one of the things that's really cool about the film is, or being a filmmaker is, if you can find something that touches you for real, it gives you a different creative passion to actually be able to make it better. You know what I mean? So.
And so, Laz, I'm going to bring the same type of question to you because I didn't expect for your character to be who it was in this movie.
Right.
That threw me for a whole loop. So, for a serious situation like this, how was it to tap into your artistry to play, I want to say, a comical character?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody can say that they've seen me play the comedic relief in the film. You know, and at first I didn't really approach it as that. I approached it as a character that just got under people's skin. You know, that one person that you got in your life that when you're going to hang out with them, you got to mentally prepare because it's going to be a long day. You know, and that friend that you can take in doses, but it's like, all right, I hung out with him. I don't need to see him for another 6 months because he's a lot. You know, he's that dude. But in that same vein, you know, sometimes the things that they do are just, they're funny. They're so unfiltered. And, you know, it's kind of like what I feel makes, you know, like somebody like a Cardi B special is because she's liable to just say anything. Whatever's on her mind, she's going to say it. She ain't worried about, you know, offending nobody. And it's just what's in her heart is just going to come out, you know, and that was this character. You know, he just spoke whatever he was thinking at that moment. No filter, no nothing. I love the fact that I got this opportunity to play this because, you know, Deon knows a lot of people. He knows a lot of comedians. He could have casted anybody in this film to bring the funny. And he casted somebody who's known for more dramatic acting and, you know, more leading man, kind of like, you know, looks good on camera, whatever they might say. They hired me for and he allowed me to stretch. You know, he allowed me to stretch and to show my range. And for me, that was great to be able to do that. It was liberating. And people are going to see something that they ain't never seen before as far as performance-wise from me.
I definitely saw something I've never seen before. You always play the ladies' man in a lot of the movies.
Right.
A role that stuck out to me, like I was the This Christmas thing when you was got whooped with the belt and stuff like that.
Right. But even there, you know, even in this Christmas people hated me. I ain't gonna lie. You're gonna hate me in this one. In this Christmas, I was hated. But he was more evil. You know, what I loved about this character is that he has layers. You know, and every scene, a layer is peeled off. And you get to see more and more what's going on in his world. And why he might be acting like that. You know, a lot of times, you know, when you got the people who people criticize all the time because they might come off as extra confident to the point where people call them, you know, obnoxious or flamboyant or boisterous or braggadocious. Let's say, for example, we're in Chicago, Kanye, you know, but there's so many things, so many layers that are probably going on inside his mind. You know, the loss of his mom, you know, he might have a child on the way, or he's got these daughters that he has to raise. You know, he's seen an industry that may or may not be something that he agrees with. You know, when he talks about financing and starting your own company and everything, how people try to shut you down. You know, supposedly he had put like $20 million behind a line that failed. Now you start understanding why some of the things that the outbursts that he has might be there. You know, and so that's what I wanted to build into this character, you know, and Deon masterfully put it in the script, whereas, okay, he's this way, but he's this way for a reason. He's not this way just for shock value or just to get a cheap laugh, you know, or make people just be mad at him. You know, he had other things, and every scene you pull the veil away till you finally see why he's like this with his friends, and primarily with his best friend, Omar Epps. You know, and so it just had some real human moments that I was like, okay, I can flip this because I'm not really being a comedian. I'm not trying to be a comedian. You know, I'm just a real dude. I'm a real dude that everybody can relate to, and they know people like that at the barbershop, you know, at home, on your sports team, in your classrooms, everywhere.
And I kind of I got all that from the film because I saw the layers that they unraveled out the movie. And watching the movie, I think what people gonna get at home from it is that the whole trafficking, what is all based around, that real people can go through real situations.
That's right,
bro. If you think about it, you know, somebody sells a pound of drugs, eventually they're gonna use it up, and they need to buy another pound. Human beings being trafficked, that person can be reused over and over and over again every single day. And that's what makes this so dangerous, is that when people are trafficked, they're trafficked for years, man. They're taken as children. All these missing kids, they're not just missing. They don't just disappear one day. They have been snatched and put to work as sex traffickers. And you don't see them again, sometimes forever, but sometimes for 10, 20 years. And for that amount of time, every single day, they were being reused and resold and resold. And it's a very, very important topic in our community because, you know, as Deon, you know, brought to light, 62% of the women being trafficked here domestically are African American. So it's something that's hitting home. You know, and we gotta address that too. We can't forget our people when we have this conversation.
I have to ask this question because, as like Malcolm X said, the person who controls the media controls the mindset of the masses, right? So like, and also in the movie, you guys talked about not gonna say it when and where, but they gonna come for you. So when you put out a powerful piece like this, you know how it was said that like politicians and like the pipeline go long for this, you know, to let this stuff go. Do you guys feel any type of way about putting a message out there like this?
I don't. I don't. I tell you, man, I did this movie called Supremacy a few years back, and about a true story about a white supremacist who gets out of jail after doing 10 years in prison, and then one day, 4 hours of being released, he kills a black cop. That cop is played by Mahershala Ali. That guy I went to prison and met with a few times, and the family that he invaded the home, and it was a home invasion movie. Dude, we got ready to put, this movie was nowhere on this scale in terms of like releasing. Shot at 16 millimeter. Danny Glover was in it. I got so much. It was white supremacists like texting my phone. Right? It was like inboxing me. Like it was crazy for like almost 4 or 5 months. And I just remember like, damn, man, what like, and I mean, they hated the movie because what happens is ultimately at the end of the film, the white supremacist, which is a true story, he was a learned behavior. So he went to prison not as a racist. He went to prison just as a regular white boy. And then he ended up linking up with the Aryan Brotherhood. And then ultimately they got, you know, he comes out, he's a hardened felon.
Right.
And this is all he knows. So what happens is when this character and Danny Glover together meet, they bump heads, but then ultimately they see eye to eye because Danny had been to jail when he was a young kid too. He had did 5 years. So they were the same type of characters, just one with circumstances and one not. You know what I mean? And I just remember that movie. So I think topical issues like this is dope when you're a filmmaker because if you're not pushing no buttons, then you're not doing it right. If you're scared, and this is where I feel like for me personally as a filmmaker, while I look at the body of work and what I'm doing and what I'm building, even Meet the Blacks pushed a lot of buttons. Like I had so much people, dude, it was critics that wanted to, it was white critics that were writing against that movie, not because of the movie. They was writing against the movie because A, it was independently done, B, it was successful, and C, I did not go the normal route to put it out. So I would see stuff, we was reading and laughing at critic comments like, yo, this dude is crazy. But that had hot button things. So, you know, being able to put Paul Mooney in there and the Klan in there and have various moments in there like that, people were really like thrown off. You know what I mean? But this movie here is special, man. And I don't think there's a reaction to it. I think it's more about us uncovering something. What we're seeing is that women that are watching it are A, responding extremely positive to it. B, we've had people come to, I did later in Atlanta say the film changed her view on life. You know what I mean? Because I think she had a run-in with something like this before and she never discussed it. So now what she wants to do is go have open conversation about a time somebody didn't try to grab or either have used her before in this world. And I just think it's dope, man, to be able to blend a movie in with hard-hitting subject matters now. You know what I mean? And for these guys to be able to, you know, play on a stage where they can present these characters to where me and you go, us, and we like, yo, that's hard, it's dope, you know what I mean? I love the movie, doing that, and then all of a sudden you go, damn, I didn't even know that. I think that's when you're doing it right. And what I'm hoping to have happen, man, is maybe not this weekend, maybe not the weekend after that. I'm just hoping that the culture picks the movie up. I'm hoping that we grab it, you know what I mean? And we use it, and we love it, and we laugh at it, and we go on a ride, and ultimately in 2-3 weeks from now, me and him like, yo, it's picking up steam.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of what's going to happen.
We need all the Wakandans to come out and see our movie. Please go see our movie, Wakanda. But low key, I mean, you know, I ain't gonna lie. It feels good to read reviews, and they're great reviews. Like they're showing us love, you know, and a lot of times in the past it hasn't been like that. But they love the film. The critics love the film too.
It's a great film, man. And like you said, I'm gonna do my job to pushing the culture here in Chicago and make sure they check you guys out.
Yeah,
I appreciate you fellas for taking the time to sit down and talk to me. And everybody at home, make sure y'all go check out Traffik.
Perfect. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right.